Reaction now from the Vice Chair of the Senate Intelligence Committee, Georgia Republican Saxby Chambliss. And Senator, welcome.
Thanks, Chris. Good to be with you.
You took part, you were busy in both hearings today. Let's start with the Benghazi hearing. Defense Secretary Panetta said the Pentagon didn't have the intelligence or the assets to get to Benghazi in time to protect those 4 Americans who were killed. Let's take a look.
You can't just willy-nilly send F-16s there and blow the hell out of a place without knowing what's taking place. You can't send AC-130s there and blow the hell out of a target without knowing what's taking place.
Did you find Panetta and the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs, General Dempsey, did you find them persuasive on this point?
Not at all, Chris. I mean, you know, to their credit, I understand this came about all of a sudden, but when I asked both of them, was this an intelligence failure, the response was interesting. What General Dempsey said is that there was an intelligence gap. I'm not sure I've ever heard that term in my 12 years of experience in the intel world. Certainly if they had had intelligence that this crowd was forming, that they had been planning this over a period of time, and if the community had frankly done its job and given the information, they both agreed that they'd have been prepared to do something about it. But what really bothered me was the fact that General Dempsey, through General Ham, knew, because he had seen
General Ham, the head of
cables,
AFRICOM.
Yes, the head of AFRICOM that has jurisdiction over that area. They knew that a request had been made by Chris Stevens, the ambassador, for additional security, that the consulate at Benghazi was not secure.
The April 16th memo.
Yeah, August 16th.
August 16th.
Just a month out, and yet they took no action based on that. What they said is, well, we called up the State Department and they said, we don't really need anything. Well, you know, this is next to the Commander-in-Chief, this is the top military officer in the country. And if he can't determine on his own that, you know, there's a lack of security there and we need to do something, then something's wrong with the system.
What do you make, following up on that, of how little contact, we heard the exchange there with Lindsey Graham, that Panetta and General Dempsey had on the night of September 11th, while this attack was going on over the course of 7 hours, how little contact they had at the Pentagon with either the President or, and this was a diplomatic installation, the consulate in Benghazi, with the Secretary of State?
Well, you know, I don't know what was going on in the mind of the president 2 months out from the election, but I think it's safe to say that's where his focus was. Did he care about the people? Sure, I can't help but believe he did, but he wasn't focused on national security that night. And here, as Senator Graham probed, you know, this thing could have lasted 2 days, and yet there was no direction by the Commander-in-Chief. There was no direction by the Secretary of Defense nor the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs to send any assets in to help these people. Anywhere, whether it's a military action or whether it's a civilian action, we protect our people. And we didn't do it here, and there was a total failure on the part of somebody.
All right, let's turn to the other hearing, the Brennan confirmation hearing. You questioned him sharply this afternoon about the President's drone policy. Were you satisfied with his answers?
Well, first of all, John Brennan is a very knowledgeable guy. He's been around a long time with the CIA for 25 years. Now he's been with the Obama administration as a national security advisor for 4 years. And while he was not the architect of the drone program itself, he has been the architect of the Obama administration drone program. And I came away from there with the feeling that I had going in, that there is a definite direction of not capturing these high-value targets and soliciting information from them through detention and interrogation.
But let me catch on that, because he said that it's ideal, or certainly preferable, to capture them so you can get intelligence.
But yet when I asked him how many high-value targets they had captured in the last 4 years under the Obama administration, he dodged and weaved there. And
he said he'd get back to you with a number.
The fact is, I know what the number is. It's 1. He alluded to it a little bit later in his testimony. We captured a guy named Morsami. We put him on a ship for 60 days and sailed around in the ocean, interrogated him, and you know, that's not a detention interrogation policy that can be followed.
Brennan also, as Mike Emanuel pointed out, seems to have been on both sides of the enhanced interrogation issue. When he left the CIA back in 2007, he said enhanced interrogation, writ large, saved lives, his quote. On the other hand, when he became a part of the Obama administration in 2010, In an interview, he said that he objected to parts of it. Did he clear that up for you today?
No, he probably muddied it a little bit more. And look, I want to give Mr. Brennan the benefit of all the doubt. But the fact is, it's one of those I was for it before I was against it moments. And he's still got some clearing up to do. We know that he had access and information about the EIT program and about the drone program. And, you know, he was involved in not the carrying out of the program, but he was the director of a different area that did not directly oversee this, but he sat in on meetings on a regular basis about the program. So we've got some follow-up yet to be done. We're going to have another hearing on Tuesday, and we'll probe a little bit more.
Where does the Brennan nomination stand?
Well, there probably is many Democrats that are not happy with him right now as there are Republicans. So I don't know. I know the president needs a CIA director. I know that John Brennan is a very knowledgeable person, and we've got to just sift through what his answers were today. And then,
but did you see anything that rose to the level that would kill his nomination?
Well, I don't like the fact that he changed his opinion when he became a political appointee in the White House. I mean, the CIA director has always been apolitical. Politics plays a role in everything in Washington. We all understand that. But still, I don't want him to be in favor of a program for a period of time and then all of a sudden go into the White House and go against it just because he's in the White House. So we're going to have to probe that a little more.
And as you point out, the Senate Intelligence Committee is going to have a classified hearing with him, a closed-door hearing with him next week.
That's correct.
Senator, thank you very much for coming in today.
Good to be with you.